अम्फान के बाद मोदी जी ने जो पैसा भेजा, ये तृणमूल कांग्रेस के गुंडे खा गए। बंगाल की धरती पर ताकत के साथ कमल खिलने वाला है। ये जय श्री राम का नारा तुष्टीकरण के खिलाफत का प्रतीक है। हम जय श्री राम के नारे को लेकर बंगाल के घर घर तक जाने वाले हैं।
हम जीतेंगे, कहां से जीतेंगे? वो तुम्हारा क्या? ना आम है, ना लाल साग है, ना पालंग साग है, ना लाल के डाटा है, ना आम है, ना कटहल है, कुछ नहीं है। तुम्हारे पास फुदुक केला है, कला है। कला खाओ और भाग जाओ।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Marya Shakil. The elections in West Bengal are around the corner and the campaign trail has seen an unprecedented offensive from the BJP to dethrone Mamata Banerjee, who has spent 10 years at the helm in the state. Home Minister Amit Shah unleashed the BJP's campaign firepower today, sending a message to Mamata Banerjee from a sea of saffron, promising to create Sonar Bangla and eject the TMC from power. He accused the TMC of blocking central schemes and spreading lawlessness in the state. He said Paribartan or change and Vikas can only be delivered via double-engine Sarkar of the BJP in the state and in the centre, adding that Jai Shri Ram will reach every home in Bengal. Mamata Banerjee did not hold back. She accused the BJP of not giving a penny to the state, adding that the BJP brigade are outsiders who have nothing to give to the people of Bengal. She said the BJP does not understand Bengali culture and should leave the state before the voters kick them out. Her nephew and TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee also rained fire on the BJP, daring the party leadership for a debate on Vikas, even saying he will leave politics if he does not prove that Bengal is ahead of every BJP-ruled states on various fronts, statistics-wise, he said. As these two political juggernauts clash in Bengal, the Congress and left are trying to cobble together a third front alliance with the Indian Secular Front, that is the ISF, while MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi also aiming to recreate his Bihar success in the battleground state. With this multi-front war gaining momentum and getting more charged, we are also seeing escalating violence in the state, where 26 TMC workers, including State Minister Zakir Hussain, suffered injuries after a bomb was hurled at them by unknown assailants on Wednesday night, along with regular scuffles between the BJP and the TMC camps. In the middle of this turmoil, the big question emerges: can Mamata Banerjee hold on to her bastion? She is facing 10 years of anti-incumbency and strong political campaigns from her opponents, here particularly the BJP. But she remains one of the tallest mass leaders in the state, and the Trinamool Congress a formidable political force. Even with the rebellion in her camp, which has happened, her clout in the state cannot be ruled out. So the question is, can she maintain her grip on Bengal? Joining me on the show, Saurav Sikdar is spokesperson of the BJP in West Bengal, Radhika Ramaseshan columnist, Professor Dinesh Vashne will be joining me in just a bit. He is the leader of CPI, and Professor Om Prakash Mishra is the spokesperson of the TMC. Professor Mishra, a sitting minister escapes an assassination attempt. Why has this culture of election violence so normalized in Bengal that the state government tends to forget its duty that law and order is a state subject? Instead, it's blaming the political opponent for the violence.
Well, you should know that the attack was carried out in a most pre-planned way, a sinister plot in the property of the central government, the railway property, railway station. The security is the domain of the railway police. and it is where this attack has taken place. Central government, railway minister, home minister must answer. Violence is being imported, and this is being done deliberately in a way so as to defame the state government, so as to destabilize West Bengal, so as to forcibly win control over West Bengal. And so therefore, I would like you to correct yourself when you say that this has happened in the context of the state. It has happened in the railway station, and central
But he's a
government
minister,
must answer.
Professor
And
Mishra.
this actually,
You can
is
blame the
the
central government.
culmination of
That is what the nature of
Dilip Ghosh
politics
has been
in
saying.
Bengal is.
He has been saying that they will take revenge. There are
Professor
other
Mishra, my
newbies
question
of
is
politics.
that
They are
what
talking
happened
in terms of
yesterday,
violence.
last night, is nothing new. These kind of violence keep happening in Bengal. There is almost
Well,
a
the
normalized
violence
culture
actually-
in the state of Bengal.
Actually is completely under control, law and order, except that the BJP is trying to import violence. They are trying to vitiate atmosphere. They are trying to, carry out murderous attack on a most popular leader of the
Okay,
Trinamool
Saurav, respond
Congress
to this.
in a district where Trinamool Congress is in an upswing.
Okay, so
This is
Saurav,
a
respond to
plot.
this
has been
this charge
diabolically
of the attack that has
executed.
happened on the minister there, and then I'll talk about other aspects in this show.
Can you please repeat
Yes,
the
I'm
question?
talking
There was
about
some
that.
problem in connection. Can you just repeat the question?
Yes, the point being made by your political opponent and Professor Mishra here is that what happened last evening was part of a larger ploy, and that this is being orchestrated by the BJP. That is the charge coming from him.
Are you talking about the attack on minister?
Yes.
Well, I just want to remind Professor Mishra that till date election has not been announced, and law and order in hand of state police only. When state police is not
Railway
able
police.
to protect their own minister, then it's very clear to assume that what condition the people of West Bengal we are living in. There is not at all law and order. Police is totally politicized, and police, many of the police officers, they are acting as a TMCQ worker. So the control of police has been lost, and this is a simple case of the inner fighting of Trinamool Congress, because the place where this incident happened, they are that state Murshidabad. We are the weakest political party there. Our presence is less there among the West Bengal.
You are
So,
Hello.
Om Prakash Da, you know better. When you are in
Yeah.
other party, you are in opposition. You used to say like me only. So this is a total
No.
failure of
It
law
is
and
the
order,
railway
and
property.
it is the
It is the railway
politicizing of
property. And let me tell you about Delhi violence. So Amit Shah was directly responsible. Going by your logic, Amit Shah should have already retired from politics. He should have resigned because the Delhi violence was orchestrated. Communal violence took place. Many people lost their life. Hundreds of them, they were injured.
Okay, so
And so
Sikdar,
therefore,
respond
Amit Shah
to
was
that,
directly
and then
responsible.
I bring
Going
in
by
other
your logic,
panelists.
and this actually has happened in the railway premises. So
I can
therefore,
see all the
government
panelists
of
on our
India,
screens
central
now.
government,
Okay.
railway
Quick
police, they
response
should
from
take
you. Saurav
responsibility.
Sikdar.
As simple as that.
Om Prakash Da, if Amit Shah wouldn't be the Home Minister of India, then
No, he was the Home Minister of India when the
people
communal
who
riot took place.
actually
I'm
tried to
talking of
make
January
Delhi,
2020.
tried to make
I'm
riot
talking
in
of
Delhi,
January
they would be
2020.
very happy. It is only because
One
of
Home
him,
Minister
the
under his
anti-national,
very
the
nose,
Tukre
actually
gang,
communal
they were
frenzy
not
was,
successful.
Okay.
ignited.
I'll bring
and
in other
people were
panelists
killed,
now.
And
Okay.
Amit Shah still continued to remain
Saurav
Home
Sikdar and
Minister.
Professor
And
Mishra, just hold
in
on to your
Jogipur,
thoughts now.
railway
Let's
premises
shift
has been
focus
used.
to
It has been
the
under the nose of the
BJP
railway police.
and Home Minister Amit
That is
Shah's
the central
presence
government.
in the state now.
Outside the railway
Radhika,
station, state
there
police,
is
yes.
populism
Of course, I will accept
with
it.
Mamata Banerjee recently introducing a universal health care plan and the project as the statistics are suggesting, coming from the state government, has reached 76 lakh residents, which is 7% of the state's population. There is visible appeasement of minorities, defections. It's a pot boiler clearly, with both the sides claiming that many cards will be shown after the model code of conduct comes in place. Help us understand, when we look at the events playing out today, those visuals of Home Minister Amit Shah on ground, embarking on and flagging off this grand finale. All the strategies have their risks and advantages, but would you say that that charge that the BJP is facing from the TMC right now, being outsider, will it really stick?
No, I don't think it's going to stick at all. By now, the BJP's campaign, the BJP's narrative, the BJP's strategies are well in place, because I have been following them very closely for the last, ever since they won the several seats in the Lok Sabha elections. True, the BJP was thrashing about for some time. They didn't know what to focus on, whether it should be their core ideology, whether it should be governance, or it should be, they were also tangled in this whole debate on whether to project a CM candidate. Everything is in place now. Yes, there is a strong overlay of Vikas, Porivartan, and governance, but there is also a strong communal subtext to the whole election, which is coming from both sides. By the way, I will not say that it's only the BJP which has injected communal element in this campaign. Mamata Banerjee Shah has, now whether you call it appeasement or affirmative action, whatever be the case, there is a sense that perhaps she may have erred on the side of excess. Because when she took over from the left, the charge against the left, which is borne out by the Sachet Committee report, was that they used the minorities as a strong vote bank, but did nothing. So Mamata, I think she had to kind of make amends for whatever lacuna was left by the left, which she did. And in the process, she may just have erred a bit on the side of excess, which the BJP quickly saw as a chink in her armor, and they have capitalized on it, accused her of appeasement. And therefore, this business about outsiders and locals, etc., is not working, because this whole campaign of minority appeasement, I think that to me is the most striking element, has caught on. And, and it's catching on in the rural areas. It's not just about urban or semi-urban pockets. It's catching on in the rural areas as well. A sense of neglect, probably you call it, neglect.
And then would you say that Owaisi could very well be the spoiler in this game?
Owaisi, and you also spoke about the Pirzada of the Furfura Dargah or whatever, joining the left and the Congress. I do not think, because let's not forget that West Bengal operates on the party system. People vote for the party, people vote for the symbol. They often don't look at the candidate. Now, Bihar is a different case study. Bihar, as you are from Bihar, Bihar loves to experiment with new formations, new candidates in assembly elections, more than in Lok Sabha elections. Whereas I would say that Bengal may be a bit more conservative and not, go in for experimentation.
No, but Radhika, going by the same logic, Bihar tends to be status quo-ish. They ensure that a government stays in power for 15 long years. That happened with Nitish Kumar. He got another term with the BJP. And before that, we have seen the long rule of the RJD, or you may say whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make again here is, of course, Mamata Banerjee came after 34 years of left rule. But look at the various formations here. When it is about appeasement, you say that is the subtext of these elections and perhaps the running narrative. Many will say affirmative action or whatever. But when you look at this third front formation that is taking place, CPIM Congress, which has clearly entered into a seat sharing arrangement with this Furfura Sharif cleric, which is Pirzada Abbas Siddiqui. Are you still seeing this as a multi-cornered contest, or is it now clearly a bipolar contest between the TMC and the BJP?
It's largely a bipolar contest. Sure, I don't disagree. I'm sure Owaisi is going to damage the Trinamool Congress in pockets, just like he had a strong presence in Simanchal. But I still wonder whether he's going to have the same impact in West Bengal as he did on Bihar, though, of course, he was confined to one region. And as for the left, Congress and the Pirzada, the third formation,
Yes.
of course they're going to damage. And who will they damage? They will take away some of the Trinamool votes, I'm sure.
Okay, but I'm going to spend a little more time on that with Professor Varshney. Professor Varshney, the fact is that the BJP's growth has come at the cost of the left. Their growth trajectory is evident. And if you look at the growth that has happened from 2016 to 2019, it is a huge vote percentage, and that has come because the left percentage has gone down. When you are creating this third front, many are saying that you are only eating into Mamata Banerjee's vote. Finally, it will be a contest between Mamata Banerjee and the BJP. The left versus the right. Left here, of course, is being assumed as Mamata.
No. Marya, this is an illusion at this time. We are very sure that this is not correct. Reason being that our vote share was much, it was much there earlier, but now it has reduced. And we are sure that in this election we will regain our position. This is an attempt by the BJP and TMC to show that it is only a bipolar election, whereas it is a three-corner contest between BJP, TMC, and the left and Congress alliance. And we are sure that we are going to, because the event of BJP in Bengal has happened because of TMC. TMC is corrupt, it is doing Gundaism, BJP is corrupt, doing communalism. Both are the same. There is no basic difference in their political maturity. That's the problem.
So you are saying that BJP's growth is because of the TMC, because of Mamata Banerjee, a charge
Obviously.
that is... Okay. And why are you saying that?
Who brought the BJP into, who were in alliance with the BJP? Mamata Banerjee. We were never the part of the BJP. Mamata Banerjee was the part of BJP. And she took such a policy which allowed the advent of BJP in Bengal. Otherwise, in 35 years of our governance in West Bengal, we made the communal forces of all types redundant. We made the BJP redundant. There was no force to reckon with at all.
Okay.
Now it is.
Okay. Professor Mishra, respond to that charge. That BJP is there relevant in the state because of your obvious appeasement that was done by Mamata Banerjee, and now her reaction that has come regarding Jai Shri Ram.
It is so very obvious that the left political parties, the CPIM especially, they have tried to help BJP. 80% of the CPIM vote was transferred to BJP in 2019 election. And to the extent that he says that the BJP has been brought out by Mamata Banerjee, etc. By the same logic, in Tripura, it is the CPM that brought BJP. It is the Congress in Haryana that brought BJP. It is the Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh that brought BJP. BJP has not come to power. It will not come to power. I'm very happy that the CPIM people, they think that they will be able to regain some of the votes that they lost out to BJP. Did they lose out? Or did they transfer? Or did they actually sold out to BJP? No, this is serious. By the way, did they sell out to the BJP in 2019 election? Or did they transfer the vote? Please don't disturb me. Please don't disturb me while I'm talking. So therefore, you should be able to account for it. And if you want to go into historical detail, I will tell you that the CPI was founded in the 1920s and then came RSS. So CPI brought in the RSS. So therefore, let us not bring in ridiculous statements where your party should be able to hold on.
I get your point, Professor Varshney, respond to that.
And we are going to increase it further to the extent that you will be able to get back some of the votes that you have ceded to BJP. That is good for you. That will also work out for us. We are very happy.
It's interesting that both of you are arguing it out. Only just few days ago, one of the TMC leaders had said that the Congress and the left must come together along with the TMC they should form an alliance, because BJP is seeing, the surge of the BJP is so strong that only a very formidable opposition of that sort will be able to stop their surge. And here are both of you arguing it out. Okay, Professor Vashne, respond.
I'm very clear. Let them be in alliance with the
What
Congress
Professor
party.
Om Prakash is
Let
saying
them not cede the vote.
Why
We have
I
not
am
asked for
asking a
any alliance,
question.
by the way.
Who was the partner of BJP?
We have not asked
Who
for
was in
any
alliance
alliance.
with the
We
BJP?
want them to
Nevertheless,
understand who the main
let's
enemy
always
is,
vote against BJP
whom
and
they are
communal forces
competing. Are
throughout
they
the
competing
country,
against
even
the
in
TMC,
Bengal.
or they are
Even in
also
Bengal,
willing to fight
it
the
is you
BJP?
who were
Okay,
who
I'm
were
going to
joining
come
in
back to
BJP.
both
It
of
is
you in
who
just
were
30
willing
seconds.
to
A quick
take
word
to Bengal.
from
Are
Saurabh
they
Sikdar.
willing to fight the
Saurabh,
BJP,
rule.
or they have
Never
already
ever
surrendered
will
to
you
BJP?
will you
position.
accept?
CPIML.
Okay. Saurabh, will you accept that the TMC has managed to blunt to some extent that discontent and anger which was there, apparent also on the ground level, with the delivery service through this Dware Sarkar? Some statistics are suggesting that there have been a disbursal of 28.75 lakh caste certificates in the last 2 months.
I think actually TMC has accepted their failure by doing this Duare Sarkar. I mean, what they did from last 10 years, then now you have to go to the door of your voters. I mean, this is your biggest failure, that you are not able to deliver. That's why there is a muhabra in Bengali. It's called Moron Kale Harinam. Arthat, when you are dying, you are chanting name of Sri Hari. So the thing is, last 10 years you didn't do anything, and
Please
now
don't
you are
die on
doing this
us.
stunt. You are doing this stunt. The Duare Sarkar. I mean, then why your Sarkar has to come
This is the
to
biggest
Duar?
program in recorded human
People
history.
didn't reach
You
your
do not
office?
want the
Because
government
of
to
only
work.
cut
Government
money?
is working.
Because of
Don't be
only
jealous.
cut money? Whenever
Don't be
a
jealous.
baby born
We
in
are
Bengal,
working. Government
and
is delivering, and
even a
government is
person,
doing
even
very
a
well. It has a glorious record. Don't be jealous. Focus on your work. You are winning the entire country. You have actually destroyed the backbone of the economy. You are responsible for the
Professor
abnormal
Mishra,
price
a
hike.
person like
The
you,
border
a
areas
person
are
like you,
dead.
a person like you
The Kishans
saying this on this
are,
debate, that is
what happened in
Okay, let me
Punjab.
give the final words to
The person
Radhika
like you,
Ramaseshan, the woman on the panel, please.
saying like that, the educated person like you saying like that,
Doesn't
that is
matter. Your leader
Okay,
is
Radhika
Amit Shah.
Ramaseshan on our
Your
screens,
leader is
please
Amit
now.
Shah.
Radhika, the parallel are being drawn between the general elections of 2019 and that of 2009, which had turned out to be the harbinger of the left front's fall. The 2019 general elections was seen as a precursor to these elections that will take place. Local issues and grievances proved to be an important issue in the Lok Sabha. But this is also an election for the state.
Right.
And do you think in that way, again, that face issue may emerge? Who against Mamata Banerjee?
No, that's not quite emerging. I mean, because I've also been talking to people in districts, etc., and they said that they're going to vote for the symbol and not for the candidate in quite a few places. Now, as for the welfare thrust of Mamata, I think every government, even BJP governments do this, this last minute push, announcing schemes, extra thrust on populism, etc. So that's not an issue. The interesting thing for me is how Mamata, in the penultimate stage of the elections, is being forced to be reactive instead of proactive, reactive to the agenda that the BJP is setting. Now, namely, Jai Shri Ram, I mean, for the first time, Ram has been enshrined in the Bengal iconography. And this, the BJP has assiduously worked to do this over the last 1 year. I mean, I am frankly very surprised how they've pulled it off, but they have pulled it off. So culturally, socially, politically, on governance, every which way, Mamata is being forced to now answer the BJP's charges instead of setting the agenda. So that itself may probably give an indication that she is perhaps a little on the back foot, but of course she's an epic fighter, and there could well be an epic fight back. I mean, who knows? But for the moment, I think it is the BJP that is calling the shots.
And they are the ones setting the agenda.
Yes, I think the most perceptibly so, they are setting the agenda.
Okay, Professor Mishra wants to come in.
Briefly. I broadly agree with Radhika ji. She's spelled out quite in an articulate and correct way. But then, I would just like to point out that we are not reacting to most of the things that the BJP is doing. It's a positive construction is there. The Duare Sarkar, the Mother's Kitchen, Pada Samadhan, government is working. At the same time, you will also appreciate that the entire so-called notional media or national media, including this one, day in and day out, they are trying to propagate one way or the other the BJP's point of view. And so therefore,
No, that's not right. We
have
have all the panelists from all the political parties. You are from TMC, you are responding. So how fair is it for you to say that?
No,
I
know what I'm saying, madam.
Yes.
I know what I'm saying. Disproportionate focus on BJP campaign. So they are, almost they have become, Godi media has become part of a
that's not a right assessment. We have asked you questions. We have asked you questions. You are responding to it. And then how fair is it? Absolutely not, Professor Mishra. Thank you so much. That's it. Professor Varshney, Radhika and Saurav Sikdar, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the stage is getting set. The model code of conduct is yet to be put in place because the election dates have not been announced yet. But you can see the gloves are off, daggers drawn in Bengal. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.